awesome band with our guest drummer, Anthony Barbarotta. Yay! All right, it's time for us to sing. You want to stand up?
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves me and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God and each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, Namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. In the name of love. In the name of
All right, you guys sound great. Stay standing for the next one. We're going to now join together.
We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in love. Love, 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 joined together, together in love. Love, 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 joined together, together in love.
Join together in joy.
We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in joy. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in joy. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in joy. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in joy. Joy, 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 joined together, together in joy. Joy, 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 joined together, together in joy.
Now enjoy. Say hello to the people around you. Let's break it down now.
We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. We are brothers, we are sisters, joined together in peace. We are brothers, we are sisters.
Good morning, beautiful center.
Good morning.
I'm Reverend Carla Sharadas. I am one of your staff ministers here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley. If you haven't done so already, if you could just silence your cell phones. We've just reached into the month of October, and we have a brand new theme for you, Power to the People. Yeah, Kathy. And inside our Science of Mind magazine, there is a beautiful quote by Naya Rivera, and she says, "Butterflies can't see their own wings. They have no idea how truly beautiful they are." She says, people are a lot like this too. And that's why we come together here on Sundays, through the music, through the message, through our fellowship with each other. We are reminded that we come from. We were intended from the image and the likeness of the divine. We are all beautiful. And we're glad you're here today. If you're here for the very first time, we just want to welcome you and let you know that no matter where you are on your spiritual path, that you are absolutely welcome here, and we're delighted that you're joining us. We're going to get started this morning with our opening celebration ceremony, lighting the flames of faith. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles and practices. And as our practitioner this morning, Rick Dale, lights the last candle, let it represent the path that brought you here today. And we will be taking 2 minutes of silence.
Thanks be to the infinite, absolute, almighty one. This one has created everything. This world, this universe, this one has breathed life into all that is alive. This one has created us in its image and likeness. And it has gifted us with not only life, but the ability to choose how to use that power that it has bestowed. And to use that power, we must surrender to it. And so, God says to us, you are my inheritors, in whom I am well pleased. And I give this to you, knowing that you will choose wisely, that you will be an example of the perfection that I am to your fellow beings, to the world. And that is what we are doing here right now. The power to the people is the power that is already in the people. And I accept this with a happy, grateful heart. Thanks be to the infinite, absolute, almighty. We surrender these words. We surrender this life. We surrender this soul to that one, right here and right now. And together we say, and so it is. And now, our global vision. Say it with enthusiasm. We see a world that works for all, where humanity rediscovers personal creative power, where we live as one global family, where communities are involved in meaningful service to the world, and where there is peace, harmony, and justice for all. And now today's affirmation. I am the peace I see in the world, and so it is.
Thank you, Rick. We're going to start this morning off with delivering some power to the people. That's you. That's Allendale. Let's give them a big round of applause.
And this morning, we are doing a song that we wrote many, many years ago, and we wrote it as a congregational song. So if you know it, sing along. We have our beautiful songbirds up here to help us out. Yay! It's called, of course, The Power.
That comes from within. I have the power to heal any sin. I have the power to reach every goal. I have the power of spirit in my soul.
You have no limit to what you can do. What's in the past isn't held against you. The mountain is moved by the mightier tide. Nothing can stand against the power inside.
You have the power that comes from within. You have the power to heal any sin. You have the power to reach every goal. You have the power of spirit in your soul.
There is no distance that it doesn't reach. There is no wisdom that it will not teach. There
have the power. Let's give them another hand. Beautiful song, Rick. Just as beautiful as your wonderful affirmative prayer this morning. Thank you. Grand Rising, everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you today. My name is Dr. Alice Reid, and I am the spiritual leader here at Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley. And it is indeed October. And in October is the beginning of the month, and in the beginning of the month we have a new theme. And the theme this month is indeed power to the people. Power to the people. We have this a little altar here that probably can't see on camera of people just raising their arms and recognizing their power with each other. It's a beautiful opportunity for us to really do a deep dive with this thing called power. The other thing that's happening this month is that we are doing our annual committed giving program. And what that means is that we talk a little bit more about this community and the givingness of spirit and the givingness that comes through you to support our community. We have a really unique opportunity this year, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But for now, what I want you to know is as we talk about power and we talk about committed giving, I kind of saw that as a little bit related. And I was thinking to myself when I was puzzling about what I would say about power and then what I would say about money is that contrary to popular belief, money is not power. Your relationship with power equals your money. Your relationship with power equals your money. And what I mean by that is that we are a philosophy that absolutely recognizes the power of the one mind, that divine intelligence that's moving through us, and that we are reflecting that power in our lives. And so if we give our power away, that gets reflected in our experiences. Are you tracking with me? Get what I'm saying here? And today, we're talking about the power begins within. And I love, as Rick was doing the invocation where he said the power is, it comes from the people, not to the people. It does come to the people, but from within first. From within first. And so what I want us to do is to look at our relationship with power. Because that's where we're going to be able to tease out the places, the obstacles, the challenges that we find ourselves facing on a day-to-day basis when we begin to understand our relationship with power. And so I want to start with a little reflection practice. And so I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath with me. And let's do that again. And one more time, just allowing that breath to carry away any concerns or thoughts or ideas that you might have carrying around in your mind right now. Taking an inhalation and releasing. And as you focus on your breath and your body temple and your place where you are right now in this moment, allow yourself to simply be still. And in the stillness, I want to ask you a question. And I want you to pay attention to what comes on up in your mind first, because this is your subconscious speaking to you. This is the thoughts and the consciousness you're carrying. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when I say the word power? Let it come up. Recognize it. Don't go to what you think you should think. Yeah. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when I say the word power? And taking a deep breath and presencing yourself back in the room. Camera people, I'm going to do something a little off script. I'd love to hear from a couple of you. Come forward, please.
So what came to me when she said the word power is electricity and the energy of spirit that runs through us as us going out into the universe.
You're so evolved. That's not what comes up for me. Come forward, please.
What came up for me is spiritual strength. When you say power, I think of spiritual strength.
Wow. You guys should do my talk. I'm just saying. Anybody come up with anything different? Okay, we have money. Can you? Decision making. Yes. Dominance. Now we're on the same wavelength. Dominance, right. All right, great. Thank you. I wanted to capture a couple of ideas from you as we looked at this idea of power, because what I want to tell you about power is that I have not always had a healthy relationship with it. The relationship that I've had with power, that I have to continually remind myself that it's not true. And that relationship of power is a relationship where I feel like people, places, things have power over me. That I have to fight to get my power. That I have to stand up for my power. There seems to be, and if I was to do this on the streets of San Clemente, I think some of the answers would be very different, because they aren't prayer practitioners like a couple of us who answered so beautifully, and I'm so grateful. You can see what happens when you are in this teaching for a long time. You do begin to change your definitions around some of the limiting ideas that we carry into when we first come to this teaching. Oftentimes we see power as outside of us. And when we externalize our relationship with power, when we externalize it, when I begin to think that the power that I'm seeking is in the government or in my spouse or in my wallet or in my job, when I have that externalized relationship with power, I'm giving my power away. I'm simply giving it away whenever I externalize that. Now, Ernest Holmes, in the Declaration of Principles, Ernest Holmes was the founder of this philosophy, he was a synthesizer, and in the Declarations of Principles, he writes, "We believe in the healing of the sick and the control of conditions through the power of this mind." And I want you to know, mind is capitalized. So he's not talking about Lisa's mind, he's not talking about Grant's mind, he's not talking about Jamie's mind, he's talking about the one mind. He's talking about presence, the thing that makes the grass grow. That we have the power to control conditions through the power of the one mind. He goes on to write, wherever the image of thought is set, there the power to create resides. God, if thou seest God, dust if thou seest dust. When we bring a lamp into a darkened room, where does the darkness go? The darkness neither came, nor did it go away. It never was a thing of itself, merely a condition, and we have power over conditions. And so he's using that lovely little metaphor about light and darkness, and that there is no such thing as darkness, there's only the absence of light. And so when we begin to forget about where our power resides, and that is in the relationship with the divine that lives within each one of us, when we forget that we have this light that we are carrying. It is this light of God, it's spirit that moves through us, and that when we remember that, anything unlike it is dispelled. It dissolves. And that's where our power lies. Our power lies in our relationship with consciousness and with the one divine intelligence, and how we draw from that as opposed to drawing from what we see out in the world. Holmes goes on to say, the relationship between the individual and the universal mind is one of reflection. That is, what we image for ourselves, it, meaning one universal mind, images for us. We have a relationship of reflection that everything we experience is a reflection of our consciousness, and that we have this ability to use this power because this power is neutral, like the electricity that Faith talked about. It is a neutral power. Now, if you're like me and you grew up in some kind of Judo-Christian type of faith, well, you weren't taught that power was neutral. You were taught that power was anywhere but here, right? That was the experience I had. And if even in some of the Eastern religions, there's a sense of not being, well, actually in the Eastern traditions, I think there's much more of a neutral relationship with power when I think about it. And that is really what Holmes is going for. He's going for this understanding that power is something that we already have, something we have access to, that is never denied us, but that we have to reveal it. I was going to say reach. See, there's that westernized mind, right? It's always dogging me back here. It is something we have to reveal. It's something that we have to remember. I have a huge forgetter. And that forgetter, it's like there's a button, right? And I begin reading the news, the forgetter goes on. I have an argument with a loved one, my forgetter goes on. And so I'm so grateful for philosophies like this, rooms like this, people like this that I'm in community with, that were always reminding me of where my power really lies. So I thought I would tell you two stories briefly about my relationship with power. One is what not to do. One is what to do. And the first one is, many of you heard my saga about buying a car last year. I gave my power away from the minute I decided I wanted to buy a car. I was just immediately in this place of I was going to be taken advantage of. And I would sit down and I would have my friendly face on and I would just be so kind. And then they would start talking, and then they would talk about how much a car is. You've seen how much a car is today, a new car? And something in me would get triggered. Now, Don Beatty, who wrote the themes for this month, gives us two tools that we can use to combat or to remember or to come back to that place of knowing where our power really resides. And one is to know the truth. The truth of the situation of buying a car for me was I had the money. I had a car that was running. I was really okay. The truth of the matter is I didn't want to part with the money. And the truth underneath that, and this is often I talk to you about peeling away the layers. The truth underneath that was, at some level, I was afraid I wouldn't have enough in a larger scheme of things. And the truth underneath that was that in some place in my subconscious still lied a little remnants of not believing I was enough. And so my relationship with power was off-center because I was still operating from some lie in my subconscious, not from the truth. And if I could have accessed the truth, which I did from time to time, it wasn't like that constantly, but it did take me a while to get a car. But when I could access the truth, I was completely at peace with the process. And I can tell you now that while there was a large withdrawal from my savings account to buy that car, I'm really at peace with it. I have come to terms with it because I have let it go. So this experience of buying a car is an example of how we give our power away because of fear. because at some level we have a fear of some sort, and we're afraid of something that is going to happen that we don't want to happen, that we don't want to happen. The other experience, I want to say one more thing about how I got to being in peace with it. This is a really important piece. I'm really surprised I almost passed it by. Don talks about knowing the truth, and he talks about forgiveness. That's that F word. It's always coming up, isn't it? Forgiveness. He writes, forgiveness is a potent catalyst for healing and plays an indispensable role in our journey of transforming our relationship with power. As we delve into our inner work, we inevitably encounter past experiences that have left imprints on our psyche. Through forgiveness, we release the grip of these painful memories and liberate ourselves from the chains of resentment and anger, and I would add, old ideas about our worthiness. By forgiving ourselves, we acknowledge that we are human and have likely made mistakes in how we handled power. We extend compassion to ourselves, allowing room for growth and self-evolution. So when you, and most of us, it'll happen, please see me if this has never happened to you, if you've never gotten gripped by fear, if you've never gotten gripped by an old idea, if you've never had a relationship with power that wasn't healthy, I want to meet you. because it happens to all of us. But we have tools in our spiritual toolbox to draw from where we can know the greater truth. And sometimes we need people, friends along the way, companions, to reflect that back to us so we can remember it, and to practice some level of forgiveness, whether it is forgiveness of others or forgiveness of ourselves. The other experience that I had with my relationship with power was when I became ill 2 years ago, and it turned out that I had an aneurysm in my brain. And in that experience, I didn't walk into the doctor's office thinking they were going to try to get over on me. No, I completely surrendered myself to the process. I had a level of trust right away, and I knew the truth about my body temple, that anything that it created, it could dissolve. And the experience I had with the aneurysm was that it was healed and completely dissolved. And I was led to the perfect doctor who led me to the perfect brain surgeon who loves what he did so much, was so enthusiastic about his work that he got me into the operating room quickly and helped me through that process, and I healed. And never once, I'm not lying, not once did I resist the process. Now, when you're in great peril, sometimes it's easier to surrender and let go, because I couldn't handle that. It was in my brain. But the point that I'm trying to make is the real difference between the car buying and the health event was my ability to surrender and let go. My ability to surrender and let go and trust. And trust. Now, there's an amazing author, David Hawkins. Who's familiar with David Hawkins? Yeah. He wrote 2 books that I want to highlight this month. One is Power versus Force. Just the title alone should tell you something about what he's talking about. And the other is Letting Go, the path to surrender. I want to say the sacred path to surrender, but I think it's just the path to surrender. And in those books, he talks about our relationship with power. And he talks about the different levels and vibrations that we're working with in power. And so we're going to talk about that over the next couple weeks. But the only thing I want to talk about today, because they only give me about 20 minutes up here, is that our relationship and even our definitions of power are not accurate out in the thoughtosphere. When I asked ChatGPT, which is that artificial intelligence query system that seems to be everywhere, when I asked it what was the difference between power and force, honestly, I think it was confused. But remember, artificial intelligence just gleans what's in the groupthink and bubbles it up for you. So it talked about power being influence and force being a direct application of action or physical pressure. But honestly, if I see power as influence, I'm still othering it. It's still outside of me. It's not the power that we're talking about this month. We're talking about the power of the thing that makes the grass grow, makes your heart beat, makes your lungs extract every nutrient your body needs and moves it through your bloodstream to nourish your body temple. That is the power that we're talking about, and we have power with that. Gosh, I still pull these, I was going to say entity. Again, it's an old westernized idea. We have power with that existence. Science of Mind refers to God's Spirit as the one infinite reality. And I love that term because, and capital O, one, capital I, infinite, capital R, reality. And I love that because that is what we're talking about working with. We're not talking about working with something outside ourselves that I got to get through a class or a book. Every class you take at this center is there to remind you of the power that lives within you. We are not going to make you different. We are only going to help you be more authentic. And remember that power that lives in you. I'm going to leave you with this quote from Power versus Force. David Hawkins writes, "There are no causes," and by that he means answers to our problems and dilemmas. "There are no causes in the observable world. The observable world is the world of effects." In other words, the world around us that we see, this observable world, is not where your power lies. Your power lies within. Thank you very much. So let's bring ourselves together as I do this affirmative prayer, or you might want to think of it as just a reminder of the power within you. As you close your eyes, and just again tapping into your breath, remembering those lovely definitions of power that our practitioners gave us. For there is a power and a presence that is everywhere present. It is the circumference. It is the center. It is everywhere. And so as we allow our minds to let go of the walls that we have put around reality and step into the infinite, what I know is that that infinite power knows no limits, no limitations, no lack, no not enoughness. It only knows perfection and creates out of itself over and over and over again. And so I know that for each one of us, like the wave is related to the ocean, like the sunbeam is related to the sun, we are one with it. And so I know as we move through this day, this week, this month, we continually capture those places where our mind wanders to a different idea and brings our mind back to our heart and our soul and that intrinsic knowing of the power and the presence that is moving in as and through each one. And I trust that as we tease out our relationship to power this month, that each one is brought to a fuller, more complete, and more blessed experience. of all that falls before them. And so it is with pleasure and joy that I simply anchor this spiritual mind treatment, this affirmative prayer, knowing the power and the presence of the One has imbued me with the wisdom and the understanding that has resonated with the wisdom and the understanding of each one, that together we know our oneness. We know our power. And so we surrender this word. We are glad for it. We let it go. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you very much. Let's give a big round of applause to Alan Dale and our band as they come back up.
So we have a very prolific songwriter in our movement, and we all know him. He's a friend of our center, Daniel Namod. He wrote this beautiful song, One Power, and we are going to share our Allendale version of that.
One power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day.
One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say.
Mysterious until you know the truth.
As simple as the love inside of you.
Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the light. You and me, one power, one power, one power. We speak so many languages, had different clothing, different colors, different names.
But difference is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same.
We'll remember once we close our eyes to see
that such distances were never meant to be.
Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem or Heaven's Door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the life. And you and me, one power, one power, one power, one power.
an everlasting peace.
It's the freedom of forgiveness.
It's the sweetness of release.
It's the joy of inspiration.
It's the sunshine on your face.
It's the birthright of a nation.
It's the boundlessness of space.
It's the beauty of a baby.
The serenity of sleep.
It's the anger we abandon.
It's the love that's most deep. It's one power. It's one power. What we are is one power. Oh, oh,
It's the power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me.
Give them another round of applause. Are you guys feeling the power of this theme? Is it coursing through you? Just so beautiful. Yeah. We'd like to thank all of our musicians here, our guest singers. Just so beautiful. We are so incredibly blessed. What a band we have, don't we? And those songbirds, are they sweet? Let's give them a hand too. I'd like to just take a moment. Dr. Alice has a special sharing she wants to share this morning.
So it is our annual giving campaign. It's our opportunity to really step into a commitment for our center. And our campaign this year is called Infinite Givingness. Infinite Givingness. And we are looking at this opportunity for us to continue to I'm going to step back a minute. There was a woman that belonged to this center for many, many years, and her name was Faith Strong. And Faith Strong was so inspired by this center, by this teaching. She was a practitioner, and she was very involved in our center. And she was so inspired that she made a massive financial gift to our community. And we enjoyed the benefits of that gift for many, many years. And in fact, when she passed, was it 2019, 2020? When she passed, she made sure that we continued to receive that gift for 5 years. And so now we have an opportunity to continue her legacy of infinite abundance, to continue to be an abundant community. Her legacy and her gift expires at the end of this year, and we still receive a gift next year, but about half of that amount. And so what I want to suggest is that each one of you gets to be part and to express and to expand that infinite abundance that we were so gifted with. So you might have noticed the lovely altar in the back of the room, and there it is. It's an opportunity for you to go ahead and let us know how you want to support our community and at what level. I have a fun idea that anyone who is willing to increase last year's gift by 15%, if you're going to give us a little more bread, I'll bake you some bread. So please indicate on your card that you're giving more than you did last year, and I will bake you some bread. And the other thing that we want to do is we want to support you. So we have this class coming up called Money Mastery. And so as a committed giver or a tither, that class is our gift to you. And that will be on Monday evenings beginning on October 14th. It'll be 6 weeks of checking in with ideas about where your power really lies and helping you to understand that you are at choice in your life and that you are a powerful individual and you have no limitations. So I hope that you will join us this year in our committed giving campaign. Join us in this legacy of infinite abundance as we move forward in planning 2025. Thank you very much, and I'm going to invite Carla back up. Well, oh, there she is. Back up for your regularly scheduled program.
And with perfect timing, it is time for our conscious, committed giving. And this is just an opportunity just to do everything that Dr. Alice just invited us to do. So open up your hearts and your purses and generously give to us. And if it's not your day to give, we have a card in the back of your seat that is a pledge card. Maybe you give regularly through your credit card. Put the pledge card in. Hold up your offerings to your heart while we do this and just feel the love. I'd like to invite our ushers to come up to the front. And I'd like to invite all of you to read our offering together. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply and symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply.
Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your love will light the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your joy will light the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. Your peace will light the way. Nam, 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 namaste. Nam, 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 namaste. Nama, 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 namaste. Nam, 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 namaste. Nam, 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 namaste. Nama, 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 namaste.
We recognize that what has been given in these baskets is love. It's love for God. It's love for the support of our spiritual family, this spiritual dwelling that surrounds us, and peace and continues to give. We know that these tithes go forward boundlessly with God's energy, and so it is. just want to acknowledge if we have any newcomers today. Is there anyone here for the very first time? If you just raise your hand so we could acknowledge you. Anyone new? All right. Bring someone next week. Did we have someone? Oh, back here. Wonderful. Welcome. We're delighted that you're here with us this morning. Inside your bag, you're going to find a coupon, and if you'll take that to our bookstore right after our service, we have a gift there for you, and we're delighted that you're here this morning. Thank you. And we'd just like to now give some love to all the people that support this center with their service, their volunteer service. They make this whole thing tick. It all goes around the clock. If all of our volunteers could just stand up for a moment, if you've been in service this month, we just want to send you some love and some good vibration. Thank you for all the gifts that you give our center. And among our volunteers are our practitioners and our ministers, and they have been trained in the art of prayer. And this is what Ernest Holmes says about prayer. True prayer elevates the consciousness to a recognition of the unity of all life. It is neither petition, supplication, or despair, but rather true prayer is recognition, unification, and communion. And we gift you with an opportunity to see one of our practitioners every single Sunday. Please say yes to this gift. Our practitioners today are Rick Dell, Cheryl Lyman, and Faith Mackey. Thank you so much, dear ones. I'd like to invite the busy woman this morning, Dr. Alice, up on the stage again for announcements.
We have a couple of invitations for you this week. We invite you to stay and enjoy the potluck that we have the first Friday of every month. We do a potluck Sunday. It's our opportunity to feed each other. It's a beautiful opportunity to be in community, so I hope you'll stay for that. I also invite you to, if you brought a pot or a dish, at around 12 to pick that dish up and take it out to your car so that our hospitality team isn't overwhelmed. I would really appreciate that. Conscious Connections will not meet today. Instead, you'll want to stay for an amazing experience of a sound bath and healing done by Tamsin and John. Would you stand for a moment? And you're going to want to stay for this one because it's the last one of the year. We have a lot of programming, and thank you so much. We have a lot of programming in November and December, so they'll be picking it up again in January. So you're going to want to hang out for the sound bath, and I know there's other people who will be joining us as well. You have an open invitation to join us for our yoga classes. They're Monday evening at 6 to 7 and Tuesday mornings from 10 to 11. And these are classes that are gentle yoga, regardless of where you are physically. Mike, our yoga teacher, Mike Ward, will lead you in gentle yoga that anyone can do. I want to make you also aware that as part of our annual committed giving program, I will be leading this 6-week class called Money Mastery, Moving Out of Scarcity into Spiritual Abundance. And this is a hybrid class, so we'll be meeting in the multipurpose room. But if you want to join us by Zoom, you can. And you just need to register online. And if you need help registering online, you can see Mary, you can see myself, or anybody else who is registered online. Raise your hand if you've registered online and you think it's easy. Oh, come on. There we go. These people can help you as well. It's not hard to register online, and it really helps us as well. It's on Monday evenings from 6:30 to 7:30. It'll be just an hour chock full of some great principle and practice and practical application. We have our regular small group opportunities. You know what they are. One week I'm going to come up here, we're going to play regular small group opportunity Jeopardy. I'll tell you the answer. You tell me the question. But for now, what I'll say is we have the book club on Wednesdays. We have Thursday morning with Shifting Sands, and then Friday morning with Joyce Fournier. And all of those are either on Zoom. The Shifting Sands is hybrid. That means you can be in person or in Zoom. A lot of really great things happening here. The other thing to share with you, and there's an invitation flyer in the lobby, or you can get this information on our weekly newsletter that goes out twice. All of this is very available to you, including the links for that registration. That's really easy for you to do. I want to let you know that the flowers today are in honor of Reverend Judy's birthday. Happy birthday. And so I am happy to put those flowers together for you in your favorite colors. So happy birthday, Judy. And with that, it is time for our music team to come up and do the happy birthday dance.
So if you have a birthday in October, Reverend Judy, Alice, many others of you, please stand. We're going to sing to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! Happy birthday. All right. Let's all stand and sing our closing song.
We are one, we are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity we all live in harmony, and peace has come, 'cause we are one. We are one, we are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity we all live in harmony, and peace has come, 'cause we are one. And peace has come, 'cause we are one. And peace has come, 'cause we are one.
And know with me now that there is only one of us here, and the rest is done with mirrors. And so it is.